Hey, what's up, wrestling fans and YouTube fam? Welcome back to another edition of the channel. More importantly, welcome back to the DaVon Lewis Show podcast. Thank you for making this your go-to spot for weekly wrestling breakdowns, hot takes, and everything in between. If you're new here, smash the like button, turn on post notifications. I'm your host, DaVon, with a weekly review for Monday Night Raw on Netflix for May 19th, 2025. We just concluded live from the Big Arena over at Secure Wellness Arena in Greenville, South Carolina. Let's get into the previous show and get into the review. Let's get into it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we kick things off in big fashion with Logan Paul coming out. He runs down Jey Uso, gives pointers about he's going to win it and defeat Jey Uso for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship at this Sunday's main event. Gunther comes out, interrupts, and he teases that there are some things that Logan Paul can teach him, such as social media. And he says Logan being champion would be a positive for business, but then bringing back the fact that he's getting a shot for the title on June 9th, and he walks away from Logan Paul. Logan Paul gets expected by this situation, and he turns around and eats a super kick from no other than Jey Uso, who pops up, catches him off guard, and of course has his lip busted after the situation, or maybe a tooth chip, but he got him really good when it came to the super kick. And overall, the promo was solid. It was calm, cool, and collective. I like how everything had transpired when it came to the drama, including with Gunther letting people know the clock is ticking when it comes to him getting his rematch. More importantly, it's going to be a tough challenge for Jey Uso, as he also had to prepare for Bron Breakker later in the night in the main event. Then we get to Paul Heyman, who talks to Jey Uso backstage, and he tells him about a couple of facts. So just as Logan Paul was trying to get into the square circle, he says Bron Breakker isn't coming for the World Heavyweight Championship. And as a matter of fact, hold on to the goal for long-term plans, because the belt will officially come to the revolutionary, the visionary Seth freaking Rollins as being a champion. Then we get things kicking right into high gear with tag team action. We had Judgment Day's members of Finn Balor and JD McDonagh defeating the likes of Penta and AJ Styles in a phenomenal back and forth match. I had enjoyed how everything had took place. More importantly, El Grano Americano had appeared in the audience, deliver a headbutt to Penta, causing the full distraction, and Finn Balor took advantage of the situation by delivering a coup de grace and pick up the actual victory. The situation continues to be pending when it comes to Penta's having his ongoing issues with Chad Gable, but more importantly, when it comes to El Grande Americano, the situation continues to pick up in high gear. But in overall, I'm liking the way how these things have been transitioning between those two, with the storyline really picking up at a high peak, but as well as Penta probably looking to get his payback when it comes to El Grande Americano, Chad Gable. But other than that, you got the whole drama continue to pick up when it comes to AJ Styles and Finn Balor. Are we going to eventually get that Finn Balor turn, as AJ and Finn have history of being the club? But more importantly, the drama continues to pick up, as we've seen the tag team action actually picked up. But more importantly, we saw last week what happened, as you guys are familiar, when we had Dominic Mysterio was in this match, but Finn Balor kept eyeing the Intercontinental Championship. So it's going to be highly interesting to see how that actually transpires and how things continue to pick up. But more importantly, I look forward to seeing how things continue to blend between those two and seeing what may happen with Judgment Day. But a whole lot can go between this time period all the way up to SummerSlam. But I look forward to seeing main event this following Saturday and seeing other matches being added this following Friday. But it's going to be a short, sweet, little small card. But in overall, it's going to be great for television. Then we get to Kathy Kelly, who interviews Io Sky. Before she even got the chance to, Becky Lynch comes to interrupt. She says that she plans on cashing in the Money in the Bank, and Io Sky has never beaten her. And then, of course, we see in the background the whole entire interview the situation that was actually breaking down. We see Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods talking to Grayson Waller. What could be building when it comes to that whole entire drama? We just got to stay tuned to see what actually will happen. Then we get to Seth Rollins, who's backstage, and he tells Logan Paul that Bron Breakker is going to weaken Jey Uso for him. That if he survives Jey Uso and Gunther, the person that will be waiting for him will be Seth freaking Rollins, waiting on the other side of the fence, waiting for him to get that shot for the World Heavyweight Championship. Then we get to the next qualifier for the women's Money in the Bank, as we had Roxanne Perez winning in a three-way triple threat match. She beat Natalya and Becky Lynch after Lyra Valkyria returned and stopped Becky Lynch from winning. Of course, the situation continued to brawl into the outside, a whole lot of back and forth. While Lyra and Becky was going back and forth, Roxanne was able to get the pinfall with the pop rocks on Natalya. But it's time to change up Natalya's persona. I was loving the whole entire situation I was going with her when she was in NWA, as well as Bloodsport. We need to bring that persona with her being a little bit more serious, straight to the point, having the whole security, whoever escorting her, and being straight to business when it comes to her lineage, more importantly about her history of who she is. When it comes to Roxanne Perez, the prodigy is now officially on Monday Night Raw. She was officially signed, and she handled business in a good way. She showed everybody, she proved everybody wrong, and she was able to knock off two big ladies when it comes to the business of Natalya as well as Becky Lynch. But the situation continues to be good when you see how things turn out in her first Money in the Bank. And she can go far. She could be one of the MVPs in the match. We just got to tune in and see how things continue to transpire. But when it comes to Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria, I'm really interested and intrigued to see what actually may happen for the Intercontinental Championship for the women's division. These two ladies have bad blood. It's like the mentor and the student, but now it's turned into friend and foe kind of situation, and it's going to be good. I look forward to seeing how they have the great chemistry. More importantly, we know they can put on a great match because over the past history when they face each other in NXT, and then of course the last run when they ran it back at Backlash to face each other. Then we get to Sami Zayn, who's talking to Jey Uso, and he said he will be there for him tonight if he's needed. More importantly, he has his back. Then there's a video package showing Michael Cole getting no other than barbecue slimed on and beaten up by John Cena back in 2012 in the same arena in Greenville, including being doused by JR's barbecue sauce. But during that transition, they went ahead and gave their condolences and well wishes to good old Jim Ross, who currently is diagnosed with colon cancer. He's going to be a strong survivor, and it's going to be a tough one to handle that situation. But best wishes to the Southern man, one of the best commentators, pound for pound, word for word, and good old Jim Ross. Then we get to the general manager, Adam Pearce. He's chatting with Akira Tozawa and Maxine Dupree backstage. He gives them information that Akira Tozawa is officially cleared. And so his match against Rusev next week is official. And he lands that actual thing from there when they're actually in the office. And Chad Gable comes along and interrupts it. And he says he can't wait for Rusev to end Tozawa's career like he did to Otis. Gable wants the two WWE Money in the Bank qualifying matches for himself and Ivy Now, because they both have been announced to be a part of the Money in the Bank. So he wants the qualifying for both of them being involved in some kind of fashion for next week. And he also wants to get the Creed brothers against the War Raiders to challenge the New Day in a triple threat match for the Tag Team Championship. All that has been officially inked down, as we have Chad Gable is going to be in a qualifying, as well as the Creed brothers getting their Tag Team Championship opportunity against the New Day and the War Raiders in a three-way dance. And then we got Ivy Now qualifying for the women's Money in the Bank as well. So it should be all good pieces when it comes to American Made. They're all putting their pieces on like chess, and it's going to be good to see how things continue to transpire. But of course, business continue to pick up when it comes to Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. They probably definitely not going to like the whole situation, but they are true legends in the business, and you shouldn't have no problem with them continuing to reign supreme. More importantly, retaining their actual championship. when it comes to the tag team division. Then we get to the big one, Sheamus versus Grayson Waller in singles action. Sheamus was able to secure the victory with a lovely bro kick. But the biggest cherry on top was Austin Theory getting the biggest chant and pop of the whole entire segment. The situation broke down and fans were chanting. I'm really excited to see what will actually happen when it comes to Austin Theory. Give him the ball, see how he does with his face turn, but I'm all for it. But we gotta see, watch out what's gonna happen with Grayson Waller as well. Is he gonna turn on Austin Theory, and is gonna make the situation as he was talking with the New Day? A whole lot can actually happen in between this next few weeks, but we gotta stay tuned. But I look forward to seeing that Austin Theory turn. I've been talking about it for months. That is needed, it's due time, and he's ready for the reign stage, even though they punished him because he was the Vince McMahon Golden Boy. But he's got to be the Golden Boy on his own now and make it and prove people wrong what he can do. His offense have been a little bit lighter, but when it comes to his in-ring work, it's like a chef's kiss, and it has always been great when it comes to Austin Theory. Then we get to a little highlight of Tyrese Halliburton. He will be the new playable DLC for 2K25. They interview about him, talk about his basketball, more importantly, a whole lot of different things, including him hyping up the Eastern Conference Finals. So it's going to be a lot that can take place between that time period. I know a lot of people are disappointed that this is the actual celebrity player, but who's really going to use him? I don't see myself using him during this time period. He probably will just be somebody that's will be collecting dust. No offense, but he's not somebody I will actually use. Then we get to Gunther, who's being interviewed backstage. Before he could say anything, Seth freaking Rollins rolls up on him as well and interrupts. Rollins has been working overtime through the whole entire night, and he's been making his pieces and peace with every single person he come in contact with, including Jey Uso, Bron Breakker, Sami Zayn, Jey Uso. It don't matter. He's getting to everybody and getting under everybody's skin in some kind of way. But Rollins said he's been here for a while since they shared a space. He just wanted to let him know that the work he did with the World Heavyweight Championship was pretty good. Gunther says he's short-sighted for a visionary because the ring general is the future around here, and he will continue to be. So they teased them actually having a match in the near future. If they go ahead and press that button, I'll be all good for it. If Hunter go ahead and put it to ink to paper, I'll be all calm, cool, and collective when it comes to those two actually going to get it on in the near future. Then we get to another qualifying. It was supposed to be Rhea Ripley versus Kairi Sane and Zoey Starks, but Zoey ended up getting injured in some kind of fashion. But Rhea Ripley was able to secure the victory after returning. Kairi Sane put up a big fight, but came up short, as the Ratatator was pretty much able to secure and handle business the way she always know how to do things. The match was switched up very quickly into a singles match after things broke down with Zoey Starks, but hopefully everything is all right. It's just maybe just a twist and not an actual full breakage or something like that can actually really take her out. But we really just got to stay tuned and see what may actually happen when it comes to Zoey Starks. Rusev cuts a promo on Kira Tozawa saying he admires his courage, his loyalty to his friends, but his delusional to challenge him for what will be the end of him. He's going to fix him, and he will embrace the challenge with open arms. Says afterwards he will forgive Tozawa's stupidity and forgive his existence. Kind of like a demigod kind of promo, but the promo was good. It was calm, cool, collective, and it was good stuff, and I had liked it for the most part. Then it was time for the main event in a non-title match. World Heavyweight Champion Jey Uso defeated Bron Breakker, who was with Paul Heyman via disqualification. The match was interrupted by Seth Rollins, who ended up attacking Jey Uso, and they put the actual beat down on him with a lovely double team. Sami Zayn runs down, was a little bit hesitant, and then we got a massive CM Punk chant. And then, of course, from there, CM Punk ran down. The fans were chanting and singing along with his song. Then things broke down to a brawl between those four men, as that match is officially going to be underway for this following Saturday. At main event, Punk and Zayn get to the ring and they brawl with them back and forth. The situation ends up spilling onto the outside after everything broke down. They even follow on Jey Uso after everything broke down. Jey Uso finally picks himself up. He tries to grab the World Heavyweight Championship and get ready to celebrate before he even got the chance to even gather himself. All of a sudden, Logan Paul lays him out with a lovely loaded right hand. Logan Paul's tooth is bleeding at this point, but he is smiling to the camera and says he's going to be the next world champion. And then from there, the credits end up rolling. But also, we're going to break everything down for next week's show, which should be a really decent card. We have a couple of qualifying Money in the Bank qualifying matches. We have Rusev versus Akira Tozawa. We have the World Heavyweight Tag Team Championships as the War Raiders versus the American Made and a New Day is announced, and so much more. But there you guys have it for this week's edition from Monday Night Raw with the review. And overall, I'm going to give this week's edition of Raw out of 10. I'm going to give it a 7.8. Some great ring action. Overall, the storyline continues to move forward towards Saturday night main event. But in overall, it should be a lot of fun this following Saturday with main event. Post your comments down below. Let me know what matches or feuds you're currently enjoying so far. Hit the like button if you really enjoyed this review. Don't forget to subscribe for more wrestling content every single week. Until the next episode, I will catch you guys later. Have a great night and a great week. Peace.